Hello everybody, welcome back to the Papo channel. Today we are going to be talking through why I personally believe that Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft is trying to copy The Witcher 3 and why it will not work. If you've come back from my channel, if you've seen my older videos, you will know we just finished our very first series comparing each main Assassin's Creed game to the development and commandments of the series. You should check those out. I don't know why I started off my entire channel with a 12 episode long series, but that's what we did. Anyways, I hope you guys stick till the end, and I hope you all enjoy. Alright, before we dive right in, I just want to say I don't think they should be trying to copy other games, obviously. I think rather that they should try to set the trends themselves as they did. There was a time when the AC franchise was the game everyone else was copying, just because it was that good. Despite that, before Origins it was clear that AC was going to go the RPG route, with The Witcher 3 as the main influence, I was excited. Syndicate kind of bored me a lot, although that was mostly related to the story and setting, not really the gameplay, but I figured if you're gonna emulate any game, it might as well be a great game like The Witcher. And they failed completely, because they failed to understand what made The Witcher great. And the things that made The Witcher 3 great would fit perfectly into a game like Assassin's Creed. So let's dive right in. Number 5, the leveling system. While there's a leveling system and fantastic side quests in the game, you barely have to do side quests. I know this because I've done a playthrough of The Witcher 3 without doing side quests, and never once did I need to level up. The level for the main quest was always my own or just a number or two up, and it didn't stop me from completing the game. In Origins and Odyssey, however, the game is constantly putting new main quests 5 or more levels ahead, forcing you to do side content that is really subpar. The side content effectively turns into main content instead of, hey, if you want to do it, you don't do it. The main quest in The Witcher 3 without side quests is about 50 hours, the main quest. However, the main quest in Odyssey without side quests is only 15 hours. Yet you'll have to do another 50 hours to complete the main quest. You see what I mean?
Burst off snow is burning my hands. I'm frozen to the bone.
Number 4, the open world system. In The Witcher 3, you don't have the fully open world. You have big regions divided and you fast travel between them. From the outside, this might seem like a bad idea, but it isn't. It allows for the map to be realistic. Novigrad shouldn't be 20 minutes away from Vizima, so why is Cyrene 10 minutes away from Alexandria? Beyond that fact, region-based open world allows for different graphical settings in each region to improve each region by itself. It also allows for far more variety. When you arrive in Skellige, it had a different lighting and fauna and terrain than the rest of the game, and this can be done because it's a different map. Number 3, the story. I've talked a bit about this in the writing, but the story is the most important element in The Witcher 3. It comes before the gameplay. A lot of people say the combat is subpar, but those people are the same people that say it's the greatest game ever made. I agree with them because you feel immersed in the world. You love the characters you spend time with, and you're on a journey that feels handcrafted. In the RPG Assassin's Creed games, Ubisoft didn't understand that by copying The Witcher 3, they would have to focus on the story first and foremost because that's what made The Witcher Game of the Year, not the gameplay. They chose to copy the overall aesthetic but focus on a loop-based system of gameplay that requires almost 30 seconds to kill an enemy or sometimes minutes just by punching or sorting him until he's dead. It's boring. Number 2, the city. One of the most defining characteristics in the AC is the urban exploration. With the move towards RPG and big open worlds, what we got were small cities, even the capitals, with few opportunities for parkour. The settings didn't help as they lacked high cities. Regardless, if Ubisoft wanted to, they could have made the cities bigger and more dense. But beside that, The Witcher 3 has its capital city of Novigrad, and I urge to go back to it and explore it again to understand what I'm seeing. The city is huge. Honestly, I think it can be compared in size and density to Istanbul and Revelations or any of the other SEO cities. It's awesome. Another important element of city exploration isn't just the size and how real it feels, it's how good it is for parkour and how much time you spend in it. Parkour in The Witcher 3 is terrible. When you can do it, you can understand how an Assassin's Creed game would work in Novigrad. The city is filled with high buildings, connected, durable buildings, all the different taverns and places to climb. It would work incredibly. Another interesting thing The Witcher 3 did was make us spend a lot of time in the city. I counted 10 hours of main quests in Novigrad and 10 hours of side quests. And 10 hours is more than the time we have for main quests in Istanbul and Revelations, and overall is bigger than in Brotherhood. 20 hours of content in a city in an RPG game, which is only a tiny part of the map. Why does this matter for Assassin's Creed? Assassin's Creed has always been a game heavy on urban exploration. An assassin stalking the streets, an AC game should always have a lot of content in the main city. Instead, we barely spend any time in Alexandria and Athens. Not only were the cities more village-like, they had very few content. Number 1, the writing. Assassin's Creed might be the most wasted franchise in the history of franchises. I'm not exaggerating one bit. When you have a franchise that organically implements historical tourism, historical sci-fi, cool conspiracies, medieval Robin Hoods, ancient orders, philosophical differences, the relationship between man and gods, you have everything you need to make a game of the year in a consistent, awesome annual game. These are all interesting themes in AC1 and early Assassin's Creed games in terms of writing, and it was awesome. It was mature far better than most games. The philosophical discussions, the dialogue, the nuance and the pacing of conversations was all great. And that's something The Witcher 3 did as well. It had great dialogue. Characters actually talked like historical people instead of what we have in Odyssey, ancient characters speaking as if they're from 2020, even like the Isu do, instead of the cryptic messages they used to have. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, come back to the channel. Hope to see you all there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.